Greetings, Hope Church. Mickey Klink here, wanting to give you an update on phase 3 of COVID-19. I want to start with just the practices and then the principles that we go by to make these decisions, and then I'll give you 4 things I want to communicate to you, members and participants of our church. Quickly, the practices. We start at the staff level, taking in all the information that the governing leaders give us in regard to permissions and guidelines. All of that is taken to the elder board, who overall makes decisions or the directions and decisions that we're going to make. Then it's passed down back to the staff to implement the details. So that's the practices. The staff and the elders total combined yesterday in 2 separate meetings met for 4 hours. So all of this is hot off the press in regard to how we're responding to COVID-19 on May 27th of 2020. Secondly, regarding principles, I just want to remind you of this. We serve another king and are citizens in an embassy of another kingdom. Yet, we have been assigned human kings and governors by God to whom we're to show obedience and respect. That's just taking Romans 13 seriously. God is, no matter for whom you voted, God has assigned them to be our leaders in this season. So I want to give you 4 things. I'm going to communicate 4 things to you that we're going to implement coming up this particular weekend. First, we plan to expand ministry as we move from phase 2, which ends on Thursday, to phase 3, which according to our governor begins on Friday. We will follow phase 3 guidelines provided for us by the governing authorities. That means a few things. Number 1, no more than 10 people in any gathering. That's right. We aren't able yet to have our Sunday morning corporate worship. It's just too small of a number. No more than 10 is what is allowed, and we will follow that procedure. Second of all, the aspects of social distancing should be practiced, wearing of masks, and specifically just health procedures, meaning if you have any symptoms or you feel unhealthy, please don't fellowship or socialize or attend your small group with people in our church. Primary areas of ministry expansion during phase 3 will primarily include small groups. This will also involve the small groups within our youth group. We're asking people to be willing to meet in homes. Outdoor spaces are highly recommended. We can begin now to continue in expanding ministry with the social relations in and through our small groups. We ask you to follow phase 3 guidelines and to use wisdom and good discernment. And we are happy to help and assist you in any way that we can. Specifically, Casey Ellers, Pastor Casey's a contact person for small groups. Contact him, or for kids in the youth group, Pastor Greg Linus. I want to remind you to think of the church as not just an institution, i.e. corporate worship Sunday morning, but also as an organism. So not just a Sunday thing, institute, but a Monday through Saturday organism. That is, ministry happens not merely through programs, for the church is primarily a people. So as we are expanding to phase 3, we can now include ministry with more social interaction, meeting the guidelines given to us by our leaders that facilitates an increase in ministry. So that's the first thing. We're expanding ministry from phase 2 to phase 3. Second, we are doing a soft or partial opening of the church office. Following phase 3 guidelines, we cannot maintain the necessary cleanliness and organization to open the church building completely. We just can't. We will, however, begin taking appointments for meetings with pastors and staff beginning next week, Monday. That's June 1st. So if you would like to meet with a pastor, if there is a counseling issue, if there is just ministry stuff that we want to talk about, life stuff, we are asking now and inviting you to make an appointment. How do you do that? Scheduling of these appointments will be made through Sarah Helland in the church office. So you can either email her at sarah@hefc.net, or you can simply call the church office, and we will schedule times during the week when you can meet with someone like me, one of the other pastors, or other members of the staff. Meetings will take place in the church in specific rooms, and they will be cleaned after each use. The staff person with whom you are meeting will meet you at the office door, which will obviously be locked because the building is closed, and then we'll take you to the room where we're going to meet, and there will be other people in the building, specifically like Sarah or others, present for such meetings. So again, first, expanding ministry from phase 2 to phase 3. Second, a soft or partial opening of the church office. Third, we are also offering pastoral visits that one on our staff creatively called Meet with Pastor on the patio. If you are unable to meet at the church for any reason, if it is unsafe for you to be in too close of contact, let us come meet with you in your front yard, through a screen door, through a window, or even on your porch or your patio. Like if you'd like someone to come to you, if you would like just pastoral encouragement, someone to pray with you or to talk with you, I want you to also contact Sarah Helland and set up a time, and I or others would be happy to come and connect with you on a porch or a patio. Pastor on a patio. Again, remember, ministry is not ended even if the building is not fully open. Last thing I want to say, fourthly, we are already making plans to expand ministry further when we move from phase 3 to phase 4. The governor's plan, as is presented now, requires that phase 3 lasts minimally for 28 days. That means that the earliest we would go to phase 4 would be early July. Following phase 4 guidelines, we should at that time, not now, but at that time, be able to meet in groups of no more than 50. We are already working to figure out how we can have groups of no more than 50 for corporate worship services. These will be in-person services that will likely be signed up for online. And just so you know, we will also, for those who are unable to meet, we will continue to do online services as well. Any gathering that we have will follow guidelines, social distancing practices, etc. More information regarding that phase 4, whenever that comes, will be presented to you in due course as we follow through phase 3 and as we wait for guidelines from our governing authority. So that's the summary. Those are the 4 things I wanted to share with you here on May 27th. I wanted to let you know that we are expanding ministry to the expansion of phase 3, and I want to encourage you to utilize that. Connect with us, contact Sarah, meet with your pastors or staff leaders, plug your kids into the youth group activities, and be involved in your small group as we try to minister in this season of COVID-19. Thank you very much.